Hello, Facebook family and friends. Regina M. McCray here, coming to continue the episode from a couple of years ago that I started but never finished on Judges, the book of Judges. I'm talking about how God's people were disobedient to Him and how obedience is important. And of course, there are consequences that we suffer when we're not obedient. So I'm starting with Judges chapter 13. The children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and God delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. And this has been a cycle with the children of Israel. They be disobedient, punished for several years, and then they get back on track with God doing His will, and then they be disobedient again. So it's a cycle. A man named Manoah from Zorah of the family of the Danites had a wife who was barren and had no children. The angel of the Lord appeared to the woman, telling her she shall conceive and bear a son. Then the angel of the Lord gave the woman a list of rules to follow. He told her to be careful not to drink wine or a similar drink, and not to eat anything unclean. Also, the child's hair should never be cut, for he shall be a Nazirite to God from the womb. It was also said that the child shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hands of the Philistines. The woman went to her husband, telling him that a man of God came to her, and that he looked like the angel of God, but she did not ask him where he was from, and he did not tell her his name. She told her husband all that the angel of God had said to her. Then Manoah prayed to the Lord to let the man of God come again to teach them what they shall do for the child who will be born. God listened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came to the woman again while she was sitting in the field, but her husband was not with her. The woman ran in haste and told her husband. Manoah arose and followed his wife. When Manoah came to the man, he asked, "Are you the man who spoke to this woman?" The man of God answered, "I am." Verse 12. Manoah told the angel of God to let his words come to pass. Then he asked, what would be the boy's rule of life and his work? The angel of God stated again what Manoah's wife should and should not do. Be careful. Don't eat anything that comes from the vine. Don't drink wine or a similar drink. Don't eat anything unclean, to observe all that he commanded her to do. Then Manoah asked the angel of the Lord to be detained or to stay so they could prepare a young goat for him. The angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Though you detain me, I will not eat your food. But if you offer a burnt offering, you must offer it to the Lord." Manoah did not know that he was speaking with the angel of the Lord. Manoah asked the angel his name, so that when his words came to pass, they may honor him. The angel of the Lord said to Manoah, "Why do you ask my name, seeing it is wonderful?" Manoah took the young goat with the grain offering and offered it upon the rock to the Lord. The angel of the Lord did a wondrous thing while Manoah and his wife looked on. As the flame from the burnt offering went up toward heaven from the altar, the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar. When Manoah and his wife saw that, they fell on their faces to the ground. When the angel of the Lord appeared no more to Manoah and his wife, then Manoah knew that he was the angel of the Lord. Then Manoah said to his wife, "We shall surely die, because we have seen God." But Manoah's wife said to him, "If the Lord had desired to kill us, he would not have accepted a burnt offering and a grain offering from our hands, nor would he have shown us all these things. Nor would he have told us such things as these at this time. The woman bore a son, named him Samson. He grew, and the Lord blessed him. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move upon him at Mahaneh Dan, between Zor and Eshtaol. Now we get into Judges chapter 14. A young Philistine woman in Timnah caught Samson's eye, and he told his father and mother that he wanted to marry her. Samson told his father and mother to get the woman for him. His father and mother objected, asking Samson if there was even one woman in their tribe or among all the Israelites that he could marry. They also asked Samson, "Why must you go to the pagan Philistines to find a wife?" Samson told his father, "Get her for me. She looks good to me." Samson's father and mother didn't realize the Lord was at work in this, creating an opportunity to work against the Philistines, who ruled over Israel at that time. As Samson and his parents were going down to Timnah, a young lion suddenly attacked Samson near the vineyards of Timnah. At that moment, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon him, and he ripped the lion's jaws apart with his bare hands. But he didn't tell his father or mother about it. When Samson arrived in Timnah, he talked with the woman and was very pleased with her. Later, when he returned to Timnah for the wedding, he turned off the path to look at the carcass of the lion. He found that a swarm of bees had made some honey in the carcass. Samson scooped some of the honey into his hands and ate it along the way. He also gave some to his father and mother without telling them it came from the carcass of the lion. As his father was making final arrangements for the marriage, Samson threw a party at Timnah, as was custom for elite young men. The bride's parents saw Samson and selected 30 young men from the town to be his companions. Verse 12 and 13. Samson told the men a riddle. If the men were to solve his riddle during the 7 days of celebration, he would give them 30 fine linen robes and 30 sets of festive clothing. But if the men couldn't solve the riddle, they had to give Samson 30 fine linen robes and 30 sets of festive clothing. The men agreed to hear the riddle. The riddle was, out of the one who eats came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. 3 days later, the men were still trying to figure the riddle out. And I'll read that again. The riddle was, out of the one who eats came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet. And again, 3 days later, the men were still trying to figure the riddle out. On the 4th day, the men said to Samson's wife, "Entice your husband to explain the riddle for us, or we will burn down your father's house with you in it. Did you invite us to this party just to make us poor?" So Samson's wife came to him in tears and said, "You don't love me. You hate me. You have given my people the riddle, but you haven't told me the answer." Samson replied, "I haven't even given an answer to my father or mother. Why should I tell you?" So she cried whenever she was with him and kept it up for the rest of the celebration. Finally, on the 7th day, he told her the answer because she was tormenting him with her nagging. Then she explained the riddle to the young men. On the 7th day, before the sun went down, the men of the city answered the riddle. What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? Samson replied, If you If you had not plowed with my heifer, you would not have solved my riddle. Then the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson mightily, and he went down to Ashkelon and killed 30 of their men, and took their apparel, and gave the changes of clothing to those who had explained the riddle. Samson's anger was aroused, and he went back up to his father's house. And at this time, Samson's wife was given to his companion, who had been his best man. Now that's the end of Judges chapter 14. So in that we get the birth of Samson. You know the story, Samson and Delilah. So in the Bible we get the chapter 13, we get the birth of Samson. And 14, he gets his wife, who was not of his family, which was custom at that time, to choose from your own family a wife. But he wanted a wife of the Philistines. Even his father and mother objected, but they did not know that that was part of God's plan, because God's plan was to use Samson to deliver his people, the people of Israel, from the Philistines. Thank you so much for watching. There are 21 chapters. I think Samson ends at, in the book of Judges, there are 21 chapters. Samson ends at chapter 16. And then the book picks up on another character at a different time. So I'll be back with the rest of these, because it's my being obedient that I must finish this book of Judges to bring to you all. So God be with me as I complete the studies and then deliver to you the different chapters to finish the book of Judges. Obedience to God is so important. Again, I can't emphasize enough that there are consequences when we are disobedient. And not just to not suffer the consequences for being disobedient, are we to be obedient, but our obedience to God pleases him. So I hope that you've enjoyed chapter 13 and 14 of this lesson, and that you pick up for more. Now there are videos on my timeline with the different chapters beginning of Judges from chapter 1 if you go back. So if you're tuning in now, you may want to go ahead and go back and look over the videos, because Facebook will be deleting them, I think, at the beginning of, I believe, the end of May. Now, when we go live, our live videos will only be stored for 30 days. So you have 30 days from the 13th to watch this video and enjoy it. So again, thank you all so much for watching. God bless you and keep you. Goodbye, everybody.